Hey there, my name is Megan and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing my most anticipated sci-fi and fantasy book releases for the month of December 2024. But before we go ahead and get on into the books, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, as well as giving this video a like to throw my channel a little bit of support. Next we have Quicksilver by Callie Hunt. However, this book was published on Amazon, I believe, for a while. I'm pretty sure it was self-published or something along those lines before it got picked up by a traditional publisher. So if you go on Amazon, there are like a ton of reviews for this book, but its official, like, traditional publication is coming out in December. But this is not technically a new book. Our protagonist is Ceres. She is 24 years old and she has a special power. She has been stealing from the Undying Queen's reservoirs for a long time and has not yet been caught. When Ceres comes face to face with Death himself, she unwittingly opens a portal between worlds. She is transported to a land of ice and snow, one that has been rumored to exist, but no one has ever confirmed. Ceres finds herself transplanted in the middle of a centuries-long conflict that may get her killed. Ceres mistakenly binds herself to Kingfisher, who is a Fae warrior. He has his own nefarious agenda and decides to try and use Ceres' power for his own. Quicksilver's release date is December 3rd. Then we have A Cruel Thirst by Angela Montoya, and this is a romantasy. We are following Carolina Fuentes, and her family are vampire hunters. Her father wants nothing more than to find her a husband and see her settle down, but Carolina would much rather be out hunting vampires. But when Carolina runs into a sediento, which I'm assuming might be Spanish for vampire or something similar, who is handsome and also kind, Carolina begins to question her life choices. Lalo was the eldest son of this prestigious family, and he always thought that he would marry, have kids, and carry on his family business. That is until he was turned into a vampire. Not knowing what else to do, Lalo flees north, where he thinks the first vampires were made. Once he goes north, Lalo hopes to find either a cure for vampirism or see if he can be turned back human. On his way traveling north, he runs into Carolina. Fortunately for these two, they share a common enemy, and they have to figure out if they can stop evil as well as indulge in a bit of romance along the way. A Cruel Thirst comes out December 17th. Next, we have a sci-fi that is Mechanize My Hands to War, and this is by Erin Wagner. This book takes place in Appalachia in the US in a futuristic type setting, and in Appalachia, deep anti-sentiment towards androids is taking root. This new antagonism towards androids come because there have been labor policies created to replace workers with robots. We are following a main character named Eli, and he is creating a militia to combat these new policies, and he is recruiting child soldiers to help in this endeavor. Then we are following two characters named Adrian and Trey, and they are now part of a government task force that is trying to stop Eli's militia and his anti-android sentiment. Both of these men had childhood experiences with Eli, so there's definitely a conflict of interest going on. One day during a skirmish between the task force and Eli's militias, a child does get shot by an android, and this causes Trey and Adrian to kind of guess the role of androids in human society. Then we are following two farmers, Shay and Ernst, and they have been using these genetically modified crops, but unfortunately their latest harvest completely failed, and it has been making a lot of people sick. To help manage all of this, Shay and Ernst hired android workers to help deal with the crops as well as those who are getting ill and to replace those who can't work, and they have started to develop very good relationships with the androids that they have hired. This book definitely explores the role of technology in human society, especially the emergence and integration of artificial intelligence into our everyday lives, and it develops a narrative around what might happen if these technologies continue to evolve. Release date for Mechanize My Hands to War is December 17th. Next, we have Fallen Gods by Rachel Van Dyken. This is the first book in a new fantasy duology. We are following a main character named Liv, and her whole life she has been obsessed with Norse mythology. After earning her degree and working for a very prestigious museum as a curator in New York City, she gets offered her dream job in Norway. Ironically, this is the same place where her brother went missing after following a lead, like a cryptic message from their missing father. When she arrives in Von Norway, Liv finds that the town is very superstitious. They don't look at water, all the shops close before dark, and things that she has only heard about in myth seem to be real in this small city. To top it off, her new boss, whose name is Tristan, is not very nice to her, but she finds herself very attracted to him and has to live in his mansion while she's working in Norway. As her life quickly descends into chaos, Liv is left wondering who is pulling the strings and if all the mythical beings that she studied in Norse mythology might actually be real. Fallen Gods release date is December 3rd. And last, we have a sci-fi post-apocalyptic type story called The Way, and this is by Cary Groner. This is a futuristic story where the world has been ravaged by a lethal virus. The world's infrastructure has been completely destroyed, and plants and animals run wild, and a lot of these plants and animals have now evolved and mutated into things that they didn't used to be. We are following a main character named Will, and amongst all this tragedy, he is the caretaker of a Buddhist monastery in Colorado. One day, he receives a cryptic message that he needs to go deliver a cure for this virus to a scientist in California. So Will sets out in his rusted pickup truck, pulled by a pair of mules, to go to California to see if he can answer this cryptic message. And this story basically follows his quest as he goes across the American West, all the people that he meets. This is a snapshot of what a potential post-apocalyptic type world would look like, the challenges that he comes across, and the people that he develops relationships with along the way. The Way's release date is December 3rd. Okay, you guys, that is it for my most anticipated book releases for the month of December. Let me know in the comments which one of these you would be most interested in reading, or if you've managed to grab an advanced reader copy of it. Let me know how you liked it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in another video soon. Goodbye.